Hey everyone, this is Manali and today we are making beetroot tikkis. So these tikkis, they are vegan, they make a great appetizer and they can also be used as patties for sandwiches and burgers. So let's get started. So for the beetroot tikkis, we would need beets of course, and I'm using 2 medium beets and 1 small beet here. So we are going to roast them first. For roasting these in the oven, I'm going to wrap them in aluminium foil and roast until they are really nice and done. So I like roasting beets in the oven, but you can also steam them if you like, but I feel the flavor is so much better when you roast it in the oven. So let's roast this and then we'll do the next steps. So while the beets are in the oven, I'm going to just pulse some rolled oats using a food processor. You don't want a fine powder, so I'm just going to pulse it a few times. We want some texture and we are going to add these to the tikki. They give a really nice texture. So just pulse it a few times. And that's it. So now we're going to set this aside and we'll get our beets out of the oven and get started with that. So the beets are now done, and how we check if they are done or not, if you're able to insert a knife easily into the beets, that means they are roasted. So these are now done. I'm now going to peel the beets and peel off the skin. So I'm going to cut the stalk from both the sides. And then I'm going to peel. So now I have peeled the beets and now I'm going to grate them and transfer them to a bowl and I'll add everything else together to make the tikkis. So now I'm going to grate the beets and I'm going to use the thicker side of the grater and just grate them. So my beets are now grated and now I'm going to add everything else. So now to the grated beets, I'm adding potato. So this is 1 large potato which I boiled and then I mashed it. So in goes the potato. Then I'll add the rolled oats which I pulsed earlier. So there's the oats. And then I'm going to add all the spices and herbs and seasonings. So green chili, ginger. Let's get all of this here. Cilantro, green onions. I love using green onions in these tikkis. Coriander powder, some cumin powder, garam masala, some amchur, which is dried mango powder and gives the tang to the tikkis, and finally some salt. So now we are going to mix all of this using a spatula. You can also use your hands if you like, that's totally okay. So I'm also adding some panko breadcrumbs. If you don't have these breadcrumbs, you can use just regular breadcrumbs, but I prefer these because they make the tikkis really crisp. So I'm going to add that. And now I'm going to mix everything using my hands. So the mixture is now ready. Look how beautiful it is. The red color is so appetizing. So I'm now going to shape these into tikkis. I'm just going to take a lemon-sized ball out of this mixture and then I'm going to roll it between my palms and make tikkis out of it. So now the tikkis are really nice and shaped and now I'm going to cook them. So I like to pan fry them and I use my cast iron skillet. So we are going to pan fry them in oil until they are really nice, crisp and golden brown in color. Let's do that. So these are now ready to be enjoyed. As you can see, they are so pretty. They make a great appetizer. You can enjoy them as such with cilantro chutney or mint chutney, or you can also use them in sandwiches, in wraps, in rolls, as burger patty. They are vegan, and if you want to make them gluten-free, you're just going to replace the oats and the breadcrumbs with gluten-free breadcrumbs and oats. I hope you guys will give this recipe a try. It's one of my favorite ways to enjoy beets, and I'll see you guys next time with yet another recipe. Until then, take care and happy cooking.